Hey everybody, welcome to our first Psych Chronicles vlog. This is Michaela and I of course am Nicole. Thank you first of all for taking the time out to watch this video. We really like to thank you. What we're going to do is we are going to talk about generalized anxiety and what it might mean to us and things like that. So first, Michaela, what does anxiety mean to you?
Well, for me, it's really like a constant worrying about everything, but there's just different degrees of it. So there's a base level of anxiety that I have every day, but then like there are certain triggers which makes it
Makes it skyrocket. Yeah, I totally agree. There's like a generalized everyday type of low level anxiety that you deal with, and then what we deal with, like not just you or you guys, like everybody deals with. I feel everybody has some level of anxiety. Would you agree that they have some level of it?
It's just when it becomes excessive that it turns into a disorder.
Right, that it becomes more of an everyday hinder of your life. So if you guys deal with generalized anxiety, what are some of the things you do? We're going to go over that with Michaela and myself, but I'd like to know what you guys do. So when did you first know that you had anxiety?
I definitely felt like I was a little more OCD and different than other kids when right around like when I was at the end of middle school into high school. Obviously I wasn't diagnosed until later, but I definitely felt like I worry much more than other people. Like I have weird tics like picking and other things that just made it a whole
just made
another
it kind
level.
of like level. Yeah. I mean, I think for me, I probably realized that I had anxiety like when I was 15 or so. I might have realized I had it when I was younger, but for me, it was really around 15 when certain things had happened and it just triggered all of not just my depression, but my anxiety too. Like I would worry about stupid little things, like did I lock the door or did I turn off the stove? I mean, it's not really stupid or little, but it's just like tiny things. And then it would progress. It would be like I would think about it constantly and that's all that I would think about. And then it would make everything worse. So that to me, that was like a thing at 15 that I had to deal with, and I'm 31 now, so I mean, long time that I've been dealing with it. But what do you think first led to it?
I'm sure it was a number of things. I mean, I definitely think I have some sort of chemical imbalance that causes it to be worse, but
my bad, guys. My cat wants up.
But basically, my parents
say hi to Poppy. Sorry, hi. Okay, she's gonna go bye-bye now. Okay, sorry.
My parents are a lot older, and I felt that I guess they just raised me a little bit more like I had to do a few things like on my own more, and I think
like more of an independent.
I think I had to like really learn a lot of things on my own through trial and error, and I think that affected it.
I mean that definitely could do that because it's like that they put you you want to put your face in here or what? I think that their method of parenting with putting you into situations where you just had to deal with it on your own, could be part of the reason why you do have that anxiety. Like I know we've been friends for like almost 2 years now, and my anxiety, I know your anxiety, I know what triggers you and things like that. So I understand where you're coming from. Other people could probably understand where you're coming from too. I mean, do you guys have parents that are older or really young that had you at a really young age that maybe their parenting has affected your anxiety levels or anything? I mean, not saying that their parenting was bad because it's not. Everybody parents differently. But certain things definitely could lead to that. So I think, you know,
certain combinations
yeah,
of things
right.
can lead to it.
Absolutely. And I definitely think, like, for me, I definitely have a chemical imbalance with everything, and I'm very open with that. I can, you know, I decided that I can no longer do this whole thing without medication. So that is something that people have to, you know, realize, is how long can you go without medication? And I went a very, 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 very long time with trying to just cope with it on my own. And it's okay to be on medication. It's okay to say that you have a mental health issue. You don't need to be ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it. I'll show you my papers. Like, I openly talk about it. Everybody knows how I am. But how does it affect your everyday life?
There are just some days where I just get really overwhelmed and I feel like I can't function. And what happens to me, there's all sorts of types of anxiety, but some days I get so overwhelmed that I like start lashing out or like just get really upset like real quickly.
Real fast,
but I've been on, ever since my medication, it's been a lot more like I can handle it and like realize what's happening before getting too upset where I like...
You catch yourself now. Like, whereas before, I noticed for you and I, like, I know when your anxiety level's up, and you know when mine is, because both of us, we just lash out. Exactly. You know, we lash out and just we don't...
angry for no reason.
Right. Just, like, and we don't mean to. It's not like we mean to. And then, like, it seems like every little thing sets us off. It could be the way that someone just said something to us, and then it would be like, oh my God, you know. And for me, that definitely happens a lot for me, but with my medication, it's starting to come down a lot.
Yeah, before I was on meds, I would cry about every little thing. I would definitely lash out at the people closest
to us.
Not like just like a random person or a coworker, but the people closest.
Yeah, like I know that I take it out on Jay a lot because he's the closest to me, and I know with you and Jonathan, you take it out on him because
my family
and your family because they're the closest to you. Like, I take it out on my mom, and I don't mean to. Exactly. You know what I mean? So that makes me feel that part of anxiety. Every part of anxiety is really fucking shitty, but the lashing out at the ones that you love the most is the worst. I think for me is the worst part, because you don't mean to do it. It's just something that happens. It's just like they say something and it's just like boom. You just react and you're not thinking. But with us being on medication, I've noticed for myself, and like you said, you're able to catch yourself and control it a little bit better. Yes. So that is another aspect of having medication in your life that helps. So what other than medication, what do you do to cope with it?
Well, sometimes I do yoga. That sometimes helps, but you know, there's times where it just happens while you're at work, or you know, trying to do in the middle of something, and you just kind of have to breathe and, you know, go get your favorite drink or just drink a bunch of water. Try and just clear your mind, like do something in a better place.
Yeah, like with me, I sing a lot. If people hear me singing, I'm singing because I love to sing, but I sing because it helps me calm down. It helps bring me back to a space that I need to be in. Also, counting. I count. You know, I breathe. I do deep breaths in and out. I am going to try to go back to yoga. I'm going to try that. So those are some things that I do. I mean, I'm a mom of 3. Everybody knows that. I'm very open with that as well. My kids are hectic. I have a child with disabilities, so that brings my anxiety level up, because I'm constantly worrying about him and what's going to happen. You know, is he going to have a seizure today, or how many seizures is he going to have today? Is today going to be a good day? I have a daughter that's very hyperactive, who needs to have interaction. I have a 1-year-old who's needs that mommy time, and a lot of that and splitting my time up is a big thing too. You know, that's a big thing that gets my anxiety. But I sing to them. That helps my anxiety as well, and they love it. I have been reading things online to try and help me cope with things. I talk to my husband, I talk to my friends. I'll text you and be like, when I'm upset and I'm not upset. It's like you and I have that. We know when things are going on. So like our anxiety is kind of like on the same level, and I know a couple of my other friends whose anxiety is on the same level, which I'll also be introducing you guys to them as well, as long as they are open and want to come on the vlog, which would be greatly appreciated. I can't thank Michaela enough for being here. So what advice would you have for people who deal with this, like if medicated or not medicated? What would you say?
It's really a day-by-day thing, but for myself, I was so young when it started happening, and I thought that there was just something wrong with me for the longest time. But when I finally was like, okay, I do need help, because I broke down so bad freshman year of college because the stress level just increased dramatically. Like, I was always one of those people. It was so easy to just breeze through high school, even though I had anxiety. It just didn't come out in that way. As bad. But when the pressure came on, I was like, I need to go see someone. I finally started talking to somebody at the school. And it helped a little bit, but it didn't really help until I got someone like I knew I could just call, like a therapist, like just call. And they were happy to help me like adjust my medication and do whatever was necessary, and they really helped me like with advice about everything, because if sometimes you need that outside perspective, like friends help too. Like, definitely keep a good friend circle, and definitely it's just, but sometimes you need that outside perspective to get your medications right. Because everybody is just there's a number of things that can affect it. I mean, even just being on birth control or just
people don't think like
stuff that just it can really affect it, and people don't really always realize that.
Nope,
so
they don't
there's just some things that you may need to see a specialist for, like, and just
I totally agree. Like, having a good circle of friends is perfect. It's great. They, like I said earlier, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with us. We thought that for the longest time that there was something wrong with us, but there isn't anything wrong. We just happen to need a little bit more help than most people do, and that's okay. Don't ever feel like you aren't okay. If you ever feel that way, just hit me up. Like, seriously, get me on Facebook. If you have my number, text me. I have my email. It's on my Facebook page. I have my YouTube channel. My goal for this is to help other people with my experiences and everybody else's experiences. So anybody that suffers with any type of mental health issue, there's nothing wrong with you. You are you, and you are amazing, and you're worth it. And
there's nothing wrong with talking to somebody about it.
Not at all.
Doesn't matter who. Just it's just that human interaction can really help you sometimes.
Absolutely.
You just need to let it out sometimes.
If you feel a certain way and you don't want to talk to a professional, grab that person you feel you can talk to. Whatever you say to me stays with me. That's a major thing for me. Whatever you say to me stays to me, and I'll help you the best that I can. And if I can't, I'll find somebody who can.
Right. I know a major thing for me personally was before I was able to go on medication, I had to have those sessions where I could just sit down and let it out and just like not feel any judged or anything. Like, this is what these people do every day.
Right.
And, or, you just find a friend you can trust no matter what, and they're not going to judge you if you need a shoulder to cry on.
Right.
It's just how it is sometimes.
Exactly. Everybody has bad days. Everybody has good days. And, talking to someone is okay. It doesn't matter if it's a professional or a friend. Please just reach out. There's always someone around. There's even hotlines. If you need that information, just hit me up. I'll get that for you. It's okay. Everything will be okay. You just need to reach out. So I hope that this opens up doorways for people. And, that's my goal, is to get this up and running. So please share. You never know who could use something like this to listen to or read, anything like that. You know what I mean? So if you are feeling any type of way, like if you feel down, if you feel out, if you feel like you can't do it anymore, you can do it. You will do it. We will do it together.
You're
okay?
not alone in
You're
that at all.
not alone at all, ever. So please feel free to reach out to me at any point in time. Michaela, I just want to thank you so much for doing this with me. This is my first one, and it means so much. Everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope everybody has a good day. Bye, everybody.
Bye now.